This police officer scammed the entire city $600,000, allegedly. Get ready for a story that's so wild you'll be shaking your head. Imagine this. You get a tiny little boo-boo at work, like a scratch, and you turn that tiny scratch into a $500,000 vacation. A vacation filled with Disneyland, ski trips, running races, all while saying you're too sick to even look at a phone screen. Sounds like a movie, right? But for one police officer in California, this was her life, allegedly. Her name? Officer Nicole Brown. And this story? It's about to blow your mind. So it's March 2022. Nicole is a police officer in Westminster, California. She has this cool job, actually. She helps people who don't have homes. Pretty nice, right? One day, she's trying to arrest a guy. There's a little struggle, and boom, she gets a tiny little bump on her forehead. Just a little one, like smaller than a quarter. She tells her boss she has a headache, feels a bit dizzy, standard stuff. So she goes to the emergency room, to get checked out. And guess what the doctor says? You're totally fine, go back to work, no problems. But Officer Brown? She didn't want to go back to work, not yet. See, she loves coaching youth soccer. And there was this big soccer conference happening in San Diego, like right away. So, what's a clever cop to do? She calls in sick because of her head injury, even though the doctor said she was A-OK. And boom, it works. She's getting paid. She goes to the soccer conference. She's chilling, looking at PowerPoint slides, learning stuff, all while supposedly being too sick for her police job. That's a sweet gig, right? Get paid, go to a conference? Most of us would stop there. But Nicole? Nah, she was thinking bigger. Much, much bigger. She brings in her stepdad, Peter. And Peter, he's a lawyer. Not just any lawyer, but a lawyer who knows everything about workers' comp claims. Like he's a total expert at getting people paid when they get hurt at work. Now here's a juicy secret. Peter, the lawyer's stepdad, he's allegedly been in trouble with the official lawyer rules before. The big lawyer bosses have had to warn him about how he does business. So yeah, he's allegedly no stranger to, bending the rules. So Nicole and Peter, this dynamic duo, they cook up a plan. A super duper sneaky plan. Step 1, make the injury worse. A lot worse. Nicole starts telling everyone, "Oh, my head, it hurts so bad. I'm dizzy all the time. I can't look at bright lights. I can't even look at a computer screen. Words? What are words? My brain just doesn't work right." She's really playing the part, like Oscar-winning acting. And somehow, she gets a doctor to say she has severe concussion syndrome. That's a super serious brain injury. Once she gets that paper, boom, she's put on something called total temporary disability. This means she gets to stop working 0 days for a whole entire year. But she still gets her full police paycheck, and guess what? It's tax-free, no taxes. Plus, all her doctor bills, all her medical stuff, the city pays for it. Free money, free healthcare. It's like hitting the lottery, but you just had a tiny head bump, allegedly. And if she could keep acting sick, she could get 2/3 of her pay for another whole year. We're talking over $600,000. $600,000. Stolen, allegedly, from the everyday people who pay taxes in Westminster, California. Just from a little bump on the head. Allegedly. So, what does our severely brain-damaged officer do while she's raking in all this cash? She starts living it up. Like seriously living the dream. While she's telling her bosses she can't even look at a computer screen, that her brain is scrambled eggs, she's taking online classes for a master's degree. For someone who can't process words or look at a screen. So easy, apparently. She's running, not just walking, running. She trains and finishes 2 5K races, sweating, running, pushing that injured brain. She's out on the golf course, swinging clubs. 4. She's at baseball games, screaming, cheering, soaking up the bright stadium lights and loud noises. She goes skiing, not just once, but 2 times, hitting the slopes in fancy snowy places like Big Bear and Mammoth. If you really had a bad head injury, one little fall could be super dangerous. but not for her, allegedly. And oh, those soccer conferences? Yeah, she goes to more of those too. More PowerPoint slides for her sensitive eyes. And for the cherry on top of this disabled party, she takes a vacation to Disneyland. Think about Disneyland for a second. Super bright lights everywhere, super loud music, thousands of people yelling and cheering, rides that spin you upside down. If you're telling everyone you have disabling headaches and can't handle light, Disneyland is probably not your go-to spot, unless you're faking it, allegedly. For over a year, she's pulling this off. She's living the dream life, money just flowing in. No one seems to notice a thing. She's basically living a fantasy life, funded by taxpayers. Everything is perfect. Until Stagecoach. It's April 2023, over a year since her head injury. Nicole decides she needs some country music. So she heads to the Stagecoach Music Festival in Indio, California. Now, if you know Stagecoach, you know it's intense. It's in the desert. It's hot, like 100 degrees hot. The music is blasting, the lights are blinding, and there are like 75,000 people packed in. It's a giant, wild party. Someone with the real severe concussion, they'd be hiding in a dark, quiet cave, crying, begging for earplugs and an ice pack. But Nicole, oh no, she's allegedly having the time of her life. Dancing, drinking, partying hard with the crowd, full-on rock star mode. What she didn't know is that among those 75,000 party animals were a few people who knew her, people who knew she was supposed to be on disability, too sick to work. And when they saw her dancing like there was no tomorrow, they were like, hold up, isn't she supposed to be like totally brain damaged right now? So at least one of them went and told their police department, hey, Officer Brown, the one with the head injury? Yeah, we just saw her raging at Stagecoach, like dancing, drinking, having a blast. Uh-oh, the alarm bells started ringing. Just 3 days after the festival, her bosses set up a Zoom meeting. They want to talk about her recovery, to see if she could come back to work. And this is where Nicole and her stepdad, Peter, the lawyer, allegedly put on a masterclass in acting. On her side of the Zoom call, Nicole is sitting in a dark room. She's not looking at the camera. She's squinting, saying the bright screen lights hurt her eyes. And Peter, her stepdad, the lawyer, he's doing all the talking for her. He's telling her bosses she still can't work. She can't do paperwork. She can't even take phone calls. Her brain just doesn't process words. Can you believe the guts of this? 3 days after she's allegedly dancing her heart out at a scorching, loud, bright festival with thousands of people, she's pretending she can't even handle a video call. It's just wild. That Zoom call was the very last straw. The police department knew something was super fishy. They started digging. A huge investigation began. They pulled up the first doctor report, the one that said she was fine. They looked at all the crazy stuff she was doing while sick. All those ski trips, all those 5K runs, Disneyland. And here's another shocking part. They found out that right after that fake Zoom call, she actually checked herself into a special center for people with real brain injuries. Like seriously, talk about committing to the act. She was trying to make it look even more real. Then, boom, the hammer drops. Hard. It's May 2025 now. 2 years after that tiny head bump, 2 years after she allegedly started living the high life on everyone else's dime, they arrest her. Nicole Brown, the former police officer. She's hit with 15 serious crimes, making fake statements, insurance fraud, big fancy legal words for stealing a whole lot of money. If she gets found guilty, she could go to prison for a mind-blowing 22 years. That's like almost a lifetime. And she could lose all the retirement money she earned as a cop. Poof, gone. And boom again, they arrest her stepdad, Peter Gregory Schuman, too, the lawyer who allegedly helped her plan it all. He's facing 2 serious charges and could get up to 8 years in prison. Plus his lawyer license? Yeah, the lawyer bosses are probably going to take a very, very close look at that again. And the city of Westminster? Oh, they are furious. They've gone to court to get all their money back, all $600,000 she allegedly stole, every single penny. Now, her lawyer says she was truly hurt. He says she's innocent and will fight these charges with everything she's got. And yeah, remember, this is all alleged until a judge or jury says she's guilty. But come on! Disneyland, ski trips, running races, partying at Stagecoach, all while saying you're too dizzy to look at a computer screen? This isn't just a story about someone